It's Friday, September 13th, 2024. Friday the 13th. Um, if you're superstitious at all. So excuse me, today on The View, Joy really stepped in it a few times. They started out by talking about Lara Loomer, who is traveling with Trump on his campaign trail, and is becoming a really close advisor. And she's a fucking loon. I mean, it is kind of hilarious that Marjorie Taylor Greene denounces her as not MAGA. She's like the epitome of what MAGA is. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't like that Laura Loomer is getting better access to the to Trump than she is. Um, but fine, go ahead, infight. You know what? And you know what? You attack her, and Lara will spill all the beans about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Go ahead, you just go ahead and attack each other. That will be just fine with the rest of us. Take each other down and cancel each other out. Um, but Trump took Lara Loomer to the September 11th memorial on Wednesday. And you know, she was a September 11th denier, calling it an inside job, doing the whole like, you know, fake actor thing. She was awful, and has absolutely zero business being there. I would love to know if she feels any remorse about that after seeing all those families, or if she is just a cold, black-hearted bitch, which I assume that she is, because she's definitely a racist and with and has zero empathy. And whoever, I think it was Anna Navarro who said it over and over again. Um, Someone like that who is so deeply racist, traveling around with Trump, he likes her because she is racist. It can't get any clearer how racist that shithead, orange shithead is. Which is funny because he colors his own face. Anyway, um, yeah, you know, she doesn't need to be there, and I hate that politicians are there. Um, that should be you know, for families and loved ones. And I was listening to this on NPR talking about coverage of it, um, of that this particular anniversary event at the Trade Center, and at the Memorial Fountains. Um, that over time, it's now been over 20 years. The people that are speaking are people that it didn't even like barely ever met. Sometimes, in some cases, didn't meet the relative that they're honoring, and that you know we've sort of flipped over a generation, and we're getting further away from it. And so it's now becoming. When it started, it was really much more of a grieving process for those families, and now it's become one of those things that's like it's a political necessary to show your respect, but it shouldn't be a political event. It's kind of like Arlington, you know. It's like you shouldn't get to use that opportunity to uh, you know, further your political advances. Trump was there not as I assume not as a candidate because he's a past president, but he doesn't know the difference between what role he's playing anywhere because he doesn't give a shit what role he's playing. He plays the same role all the time, um, which is you know, big bully racist piece of shit. Um, and there was a, a family member who's I don't know if it was a relative who was a firefighter who died, and Trump visited that firehouse, and she was like, "Fuck you! Like, how dare you come in here and use you know that death for your photo op and political gain." So I think politicians should shut up and stay out of it. Go show your respect. But I don't. It's not really for them. Um, but I don't know. Anyway, it's going to become one of those weird tradition things where the lines get blurred, um, and you know it pisses me off. All the people with the stupid fucking never forget bumper stickers and flags, and they say that once a year, but they forget the other 364 days of the year that we're supposed to be a united country, um, and you know spout bullshit about you know falsehoods about immigrants, and that was the next topic, and this is where Joy really stepped in it. Well, the first step in it was when Alyssa was saying that Trump is sort of losing all rationality, and Trump said, I think because of the big D, meaning dementia. And Anna had to be like, nope, whoop, whoop, hey, wait a minute, you might want to clarify what you mean by that, because we all know from Stormy he ain't got a big D. um but then the next thing, she was trying to get Joy's trying to get everybody to talk about they're eating dogs, um, which was Trump's bullshit, a false claim about Springfield, Ohio. And thank God, you know, Sonny snapped her right back, and it was like, this is actually fucking serious. People their lives are being threatened. Haitians are not sending their kids to school. They're afraid to go to work. They're literally having their lives threatened because of some bullshit lie that orange motherfucker told on television, perpetuated by JD Vance, who admits that it might not be true, but at least we're talking about it. He's such a dick. Um, anyway, that was frustrating. And then the story about, I don't remember the guy's name, former football player. I heard the video, and it, he clearly came before she did. But what do hey, turn the phone off before you get busy. I don't know. But somebody made a really good point about the Alexa pods and all the things that everything's listening at all times. Um, so you wonder why you get marketed stuff on your Facebook, because your phone is constantly listening to everything. Um, and it, you know, he, I don't think it's anything to be embarrassed about. But uh, it's like, oops, and move on. What are you gonna do? There's no video. Um, but anyway, I thought it was a weird thing for them to bring up. But lots of sexy time, sexy talk on the View. Uh, Big D and getting busy. I didn't know much about Lauren Sanchez until that interview. I don't like talking about the guests, but and so I didn't realize that she had been a journalist. I didn't realize that she auditioned for the View. I just see her as the big-breasted woman on Jeff Bezos's arm, inappropriately dressed at state dinners. Um, and a client of a friend of mine who designed their apartment did the interior design in the apartment in New York. But it was interesting. I don't like what she's done to her face. I think she was a beautiful woman who doesn't need that sort of plasticine shine. But I, I learned a lot about her. That was nice to have a little respect for where she came from and what she's done, and I realized that she actually is um, a thoughtful person. And then Joe Locke, who I agree with Sarah Haynes on not a lot of things, but yes, Heartstoppers. It's hard not to fall in love with that little program. Um, yeah, and that's it. So now we get a weekend. And again, I forget that we don't get a 3-day weekend. At some point, I'm going to have to get a job so that I can keep track of what day it is. Oh my God, I can't even speak.